Hi, I'm Clarice Tan and I give you real insights into real estate. Today, I'm going to talk about a horror story that happened in my home. Have you had that experience when you are sleeping at night and you hear strange sounds coming from the ceiling above you? So that happened to my home. I would share this story with you. I live in a 3-story corner terrace. And when I first bought it secondhand, it was already 25 years old. We lived in it since 2011. When we moved in, we did extensive renovation. Bathroom, it's like access door in that false ceiling where we could put the water heater storage tank. One night, my boy heard scuttling sounds when he was trying to fall asleep. It sounded like there was something scratching above the false ceiling. It continued on and off throughout the night. Long ones, short ones, they were alternating. When we heard about it, our first thought as adults was that it's probably some animals. It could be rats or it could be lizards. They are nocturnal creatures and they could be making sounds at night. And we thought that, it couldn't be a rat infestation because all our food was fine and there were no signs of rat poop. And my son keeps hearing the sound. Not every night, just some nights. Then it got worse. So he started hearing the sounds in the daytime as well. Like when he's at his desk doing his work, he would hear this. At that point, he told us he imagined that it could be some like Sadako-like creature living in the ceiling above him. I decided to investigate. I made sure that he was around because I didn't dare to do it by myself too. I prayed and I took a ladder, put it in the bathroom, and I tried to access that trapdoor above the false ceiling. And lo and behold, it was the craziest thing. When we opened that trapdoor, yes, we saw the hot water storage tank, but then beyond that, it was an entire floor of attic. It's pitch dark, but when I shone my torchlight, I could see wooden planks. There were wooden beams above, which I figured was the roof. It made sense because some houses, they have flat roofs, so my house has a pitched roof. And went up. In the corner, we saw the sounds were actually produced by a little nest of birds. So it wasn't like a literal nest, it was just made of scraps of newspapers and cloth. The sweetest things that I've ever seen. So there were about 5 of them. We didn't see the mom around. If you have come this far into my story, you will know that there is no real ghost in the attic. Found these 5 little chicks in the attic. We brought them down. We wanted to feed them. We were worried that they would die of hunger. We were just making a lot of sounds, trying to get food, I suppose. I had a neighbor on my street who was a bird lover. So she has many birds, and every time I passed her house, I could hear the birds making a lot of sounds. I decided to consult her. Being the bird lover, let's call her Lady M. So Lady M rushed to my house and she brought along a syringe. She got some bird feed where she used hot water and she melted it into like a little paste. So she brought these to my house and she used these to feed them. Then she advised me to bring these chicks back up to the nest in my attic because the mom would come for them. She said that the mom probably went out to look for food for these chicks and she would eventually come back. She thinks that they are well fed because she could see they have little bellies. She fed them, the bellies actually got slightly bigger. She said no, they are not malnourished. Definitely the mom has been feeding them. We brought the chicks up to the attic and left them there. So my son just put up with the scratching noises for a few weeks until they're fully grown. I realized when they are grown and they flew away from my attic, they still come back and they would perch themselves on our trees. Those are known as ring-necked parakeet. They would come to mate and have babies around the mating season of February to May, springtime. It's a good thing about landed living. You have the presence of the various birds, animals, especially if you grow a lot of plants in your garden. What are the other types of animals that we have in our house that are wild, that came into the house? I wonder how outside the boundaries of our house are just concrete, like the roads and the sidewalk, they're all paved. We actually found toads when my kids were younger. They would love to go toad searching in our garden. So our garden is not very big, it's just like a strip. A couple of toads live in our garden. And what else would they find? They would find oriental garden lizard.
Oh,
Oops.
come on, you can go back up. Bye-bye. You just go back up.
They are cute, they have this long tail, and you'll find them in the East Coast Park, when you're jogging, and you'll see these hiding in the bushes. So they can be found in personal residences as well. And another one that is frequently spotted in our garden is a bat. Just a singular bat would come to our house, and he would hang himself upside down on the light in the carport. Our car in the car porch, and we have an EV charger, so it's an EV and we charge the EV overnight, right? So every morning we would find something that looked like longan shell bits on the car. The bat was eating something and he dropped everything on my car. What other animals do we find in our garden? I've seen grasshoppers before. Before I put up the mosquito screens, I would see the grasshoppers actually literally just hop in from outside. We'll be in the living room watching TV, and the grasshopper would just hop right in, a big one. So that was quite interesting. Since we put up screens, prevent such insects from coming in. And we've also experienced birds who would fly in from one window and just fly out from another window. Our living room is like their flight of path. So that can be quite interesting also. Okay, but since we have the mozzie screen, it wouldn't come. Perhaps they sense the danger of being trapped in that screen. Mozzie screens, they are really helpful. They keep out not just mosquitoes, they keep out other insects as well. So you can do look into installing these mosquito screens if you live in a landed property. Okay, so that's it for today. Real insights into real estate. See you soon in the next episode.